Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really cool, the mechanics of circular motion. It's this absolutely fundamental concept that shapes literally how our entire universe moves. We're talking about everything from massive planetary orbits right down to the gadgets sitting in your living room right now. So, let's just jump right in.
Think about a spinning Ferris wheel for a second, or maybe that ceiling fan above your head, or, even the Earth orbiting the sun. These aren't just random, chaotic movements, right? They're all bound by a highly specific, superstructured set of physical rules that basically govern our reality. It's kind of easy to take these continuous rotations for granted since we see them every day, but the mechanics holding them all together, they are incredibly precise. Okay, let's dive into this. At its core, circular motion is just an object moving along a circular path around a fixed axis. Sounds simple enough, right? But beneath that simple path lies this complex chain reaction of physics. See, when an object is tethered to a center point, constantly revolving around that central axis, it creates a constant mechanical tension. It's this really delicate balance that requires continuous input just to keep going.
And that actually brings us to what's often called the velocity paradox. It's this ongoing tension between constant speed and changing direction. Imagine that Ferris wheel again, moving at a perfectly steady, constant pace. Well, even with that flawlessly constant speed, its direction is shifting every single millisecond. It literally never points the exact same way twice in a row. It is perpetually turning, which means the state of the object is actually in constant flux.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the crucial realization that velocity is a package deal. It relies on both speed and direction. You just can't have one without the other. Because of this, even if the speed is totally locked in, that continuously changing direction means the object's velocity is constantly changing too. In the world of circular motion, velocity is never truly constant. The object is actually always, technically, accelerating because its directional vector just never stops shifting. Crazy, right?
So, you're probably wondering, how does an object maintain this perfect path despite its velocity constantly shifting around? Well, enter the hero of our story, centripetal force. This is the mandatory, invisible, inward pull that's directed right toward the center of the circle. And guys, it's not just a helpful suggestion, it's an absolute requirement. Think of it like an energetic leash keeping the moving object safely anchored to the center. Without this inward pull, the whole system just completely breaks down.
Seriously, without this inward force, an object wouldn't just gently drift away. No, it would instantly abandon its curve and shoot off in a completely straight line. Snap that literal or metaphorical string, or, remove the gravitational pull, and boom, it flies off on a tangent. It's only that relentless centripetal force that's preventing straight-line chaos, fraction of a second by fraction of a second. Every single moment of circular motion is essentially just a diverted straight line.
And you can see this tension everywhere in the real world. It's what keeps a satellite hurtling safely in orbit instead of just drifting off into deep space. It's the tension on a string whirling a stone, the friction of tires gripping the asphalt as a car whips around a circular track, and the structural integrity of those whirring ceiling fan blades. In every single one of these scenarios, an inward pull is the absolute only thing maintaining the path. The physical mechanism might change, gravity, friction, tension, but that fundamental inward force, it is completely universal.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our overall understanding. When you put it all together, the mechanics are elegantly simple. First, you have the circular path. Second, the continuous shift in directional velocity. And third, that absolutely vital inward centripetal force preventing a straight line escape. Mastering these three connected principles is like having the key that unlocks how we understand the movement of everything, from massive planets in the cosmos down to the everyday machines we rely on.
So, the crucial point here is to take this framework and maybe look at the world just a little bit differently today. What invisible inward forces are keeping the systems around you moving in perfect harmony? Whether it's the gravity tethering our moon, or just the tension of steel holding a fairground ride together, these silent forces are literally everywhere, constantly shaping our physical reality. Think about that the next time you look up. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.